Thousands of years ago, the landscape was freezing, brutal, and unforgiving. Early humans and gray wolves were both apex predators, hunting the same sparse game and carving out survival in direct competition with one another. But somewhere along the ice edges, a mutual agreement formed. Humans provided fire, discarded scraps, and safe harbor. In exchange, the wolves offered their lethal jaws and hypersensitive alarms against nighttime threats. Two rival species formed a strict survival contract. Over millennia, we directed their biology to suit our specific demands. We bred them to pull heavy sleds through the Arctic, to drive livestock across vast plains, and to fit perfectly onto our laps. A single ancient predator was warped into dozens of wildly distinct shapes, sizes, and energy levels. These animals have faithfully honored their side of that original bargain. The friction arises because modern humans frequently forget to provide what these animals actually require to thrive inside our fast-paced, concrete environments. The traits we spent centuries hardwiring into them, guarding territory, chasing prey, digging dens, and herding movement, do not switch off simply because they now live in a suburban house. A working animal placed in a sedentary environment will try to do its job using whatever is available. When a couch is shredded or neighbors complain about hours of barking, the animal is not acting out of malice or spite. These behaviors are the direct result of biological drives that have no proper outlet, manifesting as acute boredom or severe anxiety. The heavy lifting of domestication falls on us. We cannot expect a different species to operate on human logic. We have to learn their silent language and actively manage their psychology. To bridge this gap, we must step outside our own perspective and figure out exactly how these animals physically map the world around them. This chart illustrates the vast biological divide between our senses and theirs. While humans navigate mainly by sight, dogs possess up to 300 million olfactory receptors, compared to our 6 million. And they detect high-frequency sounds well beyond human capacity. They literally build a three-dimensional map of their environment using smell and sound. This diagram shows how they broadcast their internal state to the world. A stiff, high tail wag often indicates intense tension or arousal, while a lowered posture with ears pinned back communicates fear. Every shift in weight and angle of the ears is a precise, measurable signal. If we focus on the face, we see adaptations developed specifically for us. They use varied vocalizations, like whining, and they employ direct eye contact, a behavior that is a threat in the wild, to actively solicit help and build trust with their human handlers. Because humans rely on spoken words, we frequently miss these physical cues entirely. An owner might punish a dog for growling, unaware that the growl was a desperate warning from an animal that had already signaled extreme stress through its body posture. Correcting this requires positive reinforcement, rewarding desired behaviors rather than punishing natural instincts. It also demands intense exposure to new sights and sounds during their early puppyhood socialization window, laying the groundwork for a confident, stable adult. Effective training is rarely about establishing dominance. It is about creating a clear, predictable routine, so the animal feels secure and entirely understood in its environment. Given clear communication, their capacity to learn is staggering. They observe our routines, memorize our habits, and process complex chains of command, proving a level of adaptive intelligence perfectly tuned to human society. We have relied heavily on that intelligence for security. Whether patrolling alongside infantry units or using their noses to detect hidden explosives and narcotics, these working animals absorb risks that humans cannot physically manage. They also operate in highly specialized rescue capacities, from navigating complex urban streets for the visually impaired to tracking lost hikers across harsh mountainous terrain. Their physical capabilities are essential tools for human survival. The reason they perform these grueling tasks comes down to chemistry. When a dog and a human share positive interactions, both species experience a surge of oxytocin, a powerful hormone that regulates empathy, trust, and social bonding. This shared chemical loop is why their presence is so effective at lowering our heart rates and mitigating depression. They are built at a cellular level to be highly responsive emotional support systems for humans. That level of devotion requires significant daily maintenance. At a baseline, an owner must guarantee strict feeding schedules, clean hydration, vigorous physical exercise, and the mental stimulation necessary to keep an intelligent predator engaged. This visualization shows the actual, often underestimated, cost of that maintenance. Over a lifespan, the financial obligations stack up rapidly through routine grooming, dental hygiene, necessary vaccinations, preventative medications for parasites, and regular veterinary care. Because these demands vary wildly between types of dogs, selecting an animal based on how it looks is a rapid path to failure. The decision must be calculated strictly against a family's realistic free time, their physical activity levels, and the actual square footage of their home. Acquiring a dog is a massive ethical commitment. By taking them in, we are promising 10 to 15 years of unwavering consistency, honoring the terms of an arrangement we initiated thousands of years ago. Because we severed them from the wild and tailored their genetics to our preferences, they are entirely dependent on us. Their safety, their health, and their daily quality of life are completely dictated by the choices humans make. When humans fail to manage those choices through irresponsible breeding or outright abandonment, the results are devastating. Millions of these animals are left to navigate the dangers of urban streets or harsh climates without the pack they were engineered to serve. This makes robust animal welfare programs and organized rescue systems vital infrastructure. Community care and strict population management are required to protect a species that is physically incapable of managing itself. Choosing to adopt from these shelters, to rehabilitate an animal that has been discarded, is perhaps the clearest way to honor our ancient pact. It provides immediate sanctuary to a creature explicitly designed to stand by our side. There is one biological reality we cannot manage. Their metabolism runs faster, their cells age quicker, and inevitably, the vibrant energy of their youth slows into the careful steps of their senior years. As their hearing fades and their joints stiffen, our responsibilities shift. The focus narrows from training and exercise to providing absolute comfort, extreme patience, and eventually, dignified end-of-life care. The intense grief that follows their loss is the final, necessary cost of the arrangement. We endure the pain of their absence because they gave us their absolute devotion while they were here. To us, they are a chapter of our lives. To them, we are the entire story.